Okay.
So yeah, let me give you some links there. Mm. Okay, you can so let me. Okay, I've pinged you only. Sorry?
Yeah, I got it. Let me know.
Yeah, sure. So just get into that and yeah. And I've pinged you one more link here, so you can just open that too. The first link is a download one. You can just download the first one, okay? And the second one is something which you have to set up with your Eclipse first, okay?
Okay.
So first maybe you can just download. The first one is an Android SDK. I'll explain you what are these two different things, right? You can just download them first.
Yeah, I already have Android installed in my Eclipse, but you can just you can just uninstall if you want. Like.
Okay, fine then that's fine. Okay, I thought you don't have Eclipse installed.
Oh no, I do have Eclipse installed.
No, you have Android installed in your Eclipse?
Yeah, I'm sorry, yes, I do also have Android SDK.
Okay, perfect, not a problem. So which API version is installed in your Eclipse beta?
I was working with I'm sorry, the Android API, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like on API level 7.
7?
Yeah.
Okay, so which ADT have you gone installed in Eclipse? Which ADT? I mean, which Android development toolkit you have done your setup?
I'm sorry. I just followed this developer Android link to install.
Okay, you have followed this one, right?
Yeah, I have followed that. It's been good time. I mean, it's more than 2 weeks that I have installed.
No issues. You can do one thing. Okay. The first thing is how you gave how many things you have installed? Like, is it SDK and plugin, both the things you have installed? Like, you know the procedure, right? Or you want to experiments?
Yeah, I have installed both the things, I guess, but I'm not quite sure.
That's fine.
You can just go on asking, or I can go and checking.
No, that's fine, Geeta, because this is something which is very important, right? So let me just even if you are done with that, let me just show you that again, okay? Because
that will really help.
Okay, yeah. Let us also download the Eclipse one. I don't know which version. I mean, in Juno, do you have the service pack too?
Where can I check that?
You can just go to the help of Eclipse.
Okay.
Yeah. Just check there whether in help you will be getting the version and SP, whether it is SP2 or SP1 or.
Under help in about Eclipse?
Yep. It's in about Eclipse, yeah.
Yes, Juno service release 2.
Is it true? Service is true?
Yeah, it's service release 2.
Perfect. That is the one which is the latest one. Perfect. And
that's okay.
Okay. So here, if you can see that I have sent you 2 links, right? The first link which I have sent is SDK, right? So that SDK is nothing but a software development kit, right? Which is a core component for our complete Android development. Fine. So the second link which I have provided is something which is a plugin which we have to use in order to develop Android application using Eclipse. We cannot use Eclipse directly to develop Android, right? Because inbuilt there is inbuilt components are not provided by Eclipse. You have to plug in your editing. Right? There are 2 ways how you can actually plug in. Right? If you can go to the link, let me give you the presenter role. You can just share your screen, okay? So that I can just help you out with the links.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Maybe just for this class, so that I can just share my screens for next class, so that we can, I'll show you the coding part, right?
Alright, that would do.
Okay, so here you can see two things, right? First thing is you have this link, right? DLSL Google.com and all, right? This is
Yes,
something.
I didn't.
Sorry?
Yeah, I remember putting that link in my Eclipse.
Okay. So you have already configured your LED, it seems, right?
Yeah, yes, I have.
Okay, perfect. So you have. So which version of SDK do you have? Can you just go back to your Eclipse once?
Yeah.
So
And yes.
yeah. Can you go to SDK manager? Yeah.
Yeah, right? With the SDK.
Yeah, the same.
Okay, SDK version.
Okay, so it is tools revision 22. Perfect. Can you just click on new here? Select new or updates are there, right? Can you just select?
Yeah.
At the bottom you have something called, not that one. There is a link here after obsolete. Here you have the one which you have selected just right now, right? You have updates are new, and the next one is installed, and the next one is
Okay, select new.
Yep.
Okay.
Click on that. Oh, there are so many APIs which you have to install. So since you can see the SDK tools you have 21, right?
Alright.
So the latest one is Revision 22. If you just update this one, right, even your complete SDK will be updated. Now why this is if you can drag the scroll down this, you can see that the APIs, right? It's 412. If you go down, you can see many more versions, right? So as I said before, right, you whatever application you are going to develop, right, should be compatible with at least 2.2 from 2.2, right?
Right.
So that's why whatever we don't have, just we have to install them. You can just click on packages. It will take a while. If you have some time, you can just maybe install now. It will take much of time, or maybe you can just keep this open, right, and maybe you can install them later, right? Whatsoever you can do that. Okay. So this will update you. Okay. Fine then. So now this SDK is something, right, which is, so this is the one. I think in this folder you will find two things. One is SDK and another thing is an Eclipse, right?
Right.
Fine. So in the, when you have unzipped this SDK folder, right, you would have got two things. One is SDK folder and another is Eclipse. That Eclipse is completely used only for Android development. You cannot use that Eclipse for other Java projects.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why we don't directly go and use them, because in our case maybe we'll be developing web application, we'll be developing Android application, so many things, right? Which means we have to download the Eclipse where you can actually create multiple projects. That's why we go for ADT, which is Android Development Toolkit, which is used to configure your Eclipse. Okay, that ADT is same across, even if you want to develop your Android using .NET, right? Again, you have the same API levels, right? Where you have to configure them in .NET, and then you can actually give the path to SDK manager, then you can work on the Android development. Fine. Okay, that's right. So that is how perfect. So anyways, it seems your Eclipse is perfect now. So I hope you have a complete knowledge on Eclipse, right? I mean Java, not Eclipse.
Yeah, Java I do have, but it's just bit there's a big gap in between.
Okay. Okay, but anyways, whenever you come to concept, I hope you'll be whenever I say some concept, you can refresh it, right? Is that right?
I can refresh it.
Fine. If you had any touch before, that's fine. That's the main thing we want actually, right? Without Java, we can't move ahead with. That's the main reason. Fine then.
Yeah, no problem. I will refresh them as we go on.
Perfect. Now, can you just close this? If you want to install, you can just click on install and minimize this, or maybe I can just show you. Click on this accept. Here you have the next accept license.
Yeah.
Not there. Okay, fine. You can just
Android
select the
as
top one.
second.
Yep. You have the right.
Yeah. Yes, yes.
Yeah, let's just leave it. It will take a lot of time.
Yeah, it will take time.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, fine. Okay. So can you just right click on this Explorer? Okay, you are using Package Explorer. Okay. Mostly we go for something called Project Explorer. That's fine. That's fine. You can use either of them. Can you just right click on
Okay.
this? Just right click on this. I just want to
Okay,
on this white space. You have at bottom your white space. Yeah, right click on that. Okay, that's
Yeah.
Can you just go
Over here?
Okay, or you can do one thing. Can you go to File, New, and click on Project?
Yes.
Just want to check whether. Yeah. Okay, perfect. You have Android. So can you just expand that Android?
Yes.
Under Application Project, you have sample. Perfect.
Okay.
We have them. Not a problem. Okay. So
Should I cancel it?
Yeah, you can cancel that.
Okay.
Just cancel that. Not a problem. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
now, can you just go to File, New, and Other once?
Sure.
So we have done this before itself. It's fine. Can you just expand and activity
Android?
application? Yeah, this one. Yeah. You have activities. You have icons, XML files. Perfect. Okay, these are latest ones. Okay, fine. Because sometimes you won't get this. Fine then. You can just close it out. Okay. It seems your Android is completely configured. Not a problem. So have you done the configuration of your emulator?
Yes, I have.
Okay, fine. So have you done it for mobile edition or tab?
I think it's for tab.
Okay, fine. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter so much.
Yeah, that's for tab. I mean, I tried it.
Okay, so you were.
Galaxy Nexus, I'm not very sure.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it might be either for tab or Galaxy Nexus. So
No, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine because it doesn't matter. It just matters with the resolution part of your screen. That's fine. That's fine. If you are done,
okay.
that's fine. Not a problem.
But which is preferable, like then, as per resolution or anything?
So basically, it all that's fine because the development part will be same for even both of them, right? There won't be much of difference. There won't be any difference as such. But the only thing is, if you are actually developing in a company, if you are trying to develop anything for mobile, right? Always try to create an emulator based on the resolution and all the features based on your mobile itself, right? Don't go for tab, right? Because whatever you can see in your tab may not be same in tab in phone.
Okay, right.
That's the main thing. This I just wanted to make sure understood, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Can you just open your Android, not SDK manager, AVD? Can you just open AVD? The same thing. Click on window.
Yeah.
AVD, yeah. Just want to.
Yeah, I mean, you can just.
Okay, so perfect. Not a
You
problem.
want me to edit it?
Can you just edit that? You gave the platform as 2.2 here actually. Click on it. APL level. Can you just click on target? Can you select 4.2.2? Last one.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this one, level 17. Perfect.
Alright. And is this resolution okay?
That is fine. If you want to go for that, that's fine. But basically, just go for 5.1 or 5.4 inch, right? It will be like don't go for tablet as such, right? You can just go for 5.1 maybe 5.4 based on you can just go for 5.1 itself. That's fine.
Alright.
Okay. So API level, you can just select it out 17 and okay, fine. Back camera, you don't need this anyways. You can just say don't go for back camera. Even if you have, that doesn't matter. It's okay. Can you just say none? As of now, if you need, you can go for. Otherwise, it will take much of memory to open that. because it's a complete virtual device, right? Now the RAM you can give some 1000, maybe. But if you give 1000, it will give some. It is not giving. No, that's fine. You just click on something. Okay, fine. So which means you are giving 1 GB, right? VM is okay. That's fine. Internal storage is fine. SD card you can just mention something. Maybe you can just use 200 MB.
Just 200?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so why is it not?
I think I'll have to, I'm editing it, maybe I'll have to create a new one.
Okay, you can just go, whenever you edit, okay, that's fine. You can just, cancel this up and you can maybe create a new one. Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, just give me 2 minutes, I will do it soon.
Just take it. You can just give the name.
What should be the emulation options?
No, you have to give the name of LED name, the first text.
Yeah.
Then it will, I think, maybe it will enable AVD underscore 22.
That's right.
AVD underscore 22. So that you can.
Emulation option should be used closed.
You don't have them. Yeah. Hello? Hello, hi Geeta. Can you just select the CPU or ABI thing?
Hello?
Hello, hi Geeta. Hello?
Hello?
Hello, hi Geeta. Can you hear me? Hello Geeta, can you hear me? Hello?
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 Hello Geeta, is there any hardware problem?
Hello? Hello?
Hello, hi Geeta, can you, I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you now. I
Okay.
don't know what,
Not a
I'm
problem.
sorry, I don't know what was the problem.
That's fine. If mic comes,
It still
right?
just shows me.
No, one sec. Can you just go to the CPU ABI? What is the CPU? You can just click on that.
Yeah.
The third option. You
Okay.
can just select something. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you got right on Windows the RAM. One sec. You can see here, right? May fail. So that's why just give some 700 maybe here.
Right.
Yeah. So that
Okay.
okay. Click on OK now.
What is this VM heap we do not need to change?
No, VM heap is C. Okay. So your AVD will be completely running on some cache, right? Some cache. So in that cache, if
Right.
it needs to create some stack and heap, right? That maximum heap memory will go till that part. That is a VM heap.
Oh, okay. Right.
Okay,
I do
because
have my-
we should not give more of that because it will stop
Right.
our machine. Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, just slow down the machine.
Okay, perfect. Now you can just use this one. Okay. So whenever you run your project, right, both things may appear. So you can just click on something. Okay.
Yeah. Maybe I can just check launching it.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay. So are we gonna need the D-pad which is not enabled in AVD?
No, you don't need them actually. Anyways, don't worry.
Alright. Because
Okay, fine. So you
we can move it.
no issues. Yeah, it will be faster.
Yeah.
Okay, so okay, fine then. So it was easy then. It seems your Android is done. The setting part of your Android is done. Perfect. Let's move on with some of the things now. Right? Okay, so let me close these things and right. So I'm just taking the control so that I'll show you my screen.
Okay.
Okay, Can you see my screen now?
Yes. Your screen?
Yeah, my screen, yeah. Can you see my screen now? I mean,
Yeah.
okay.
It's launching. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, I can see it now.
Okay, fine, not a problem, sure. So yeah, so we just start with few things. So we just know before going to the actual, coding part and all, right? We have to understand something about Android, right?
Excuse me. Yeah.
Maybe we just look into that today, right? The first thing what
Okay.
we need is like basically, we need the basic recommended thing to develop Android is Java. It has been recommended by the Android R&D people itself, right? If you actually know some part of J2SE, right? J2SE is more than enough to actually code on Android, which is standard edition, which contains the basics of Java, oops, exceptions, multi-threading, files, collections, strings, math, and all, right? And your geometry. So these things are more than enough to code in, into Android, right?
Yeah.
Sorry. So once the Android is completely done, right? I mean, once we are actually done with the complete course of Android, right? So then we'll be touching up with something called web services, right? I hope you know the web services part, but yes, why do we need web services here is, so we need to develop something using which you can actually interact with your Android app, right? So whatever we'll be developing in our complete course classes, right, it will be completely standalone. Am I right? Because we won't be connecting to, anyways, we'll be connecting to some internet part and all, but using virtual device, right, we can't do much, maybe we can touch the 80% of development, but some things like, creating some files in SD card, right, or creating internet connections directly through emulator, these things are something which all depends on how emulator is reacting, because emulator is something which is a lighter version of your mobile being devised or designed as a complete virtual device, right? That's why it is so when things are done, maybe, right, so I'll just give you the way how you can actually configure your web services into your Android application, which is very important, right? Because you should know the integration between the Android app and web service, which comes the later part, right?
Okay.
So that is what we have to know in Java. That's more than enough to know, right? We don't know much of frameworks and all structure. That's fine. And and yes, that is about the technology which we need, right? And basically, the internal libraries of Android are basically written in C, C++, and Java. Right. So these are the internal APIs of Android being designed on, right? So that's why some of the, anyways, these are completely built on Linux. Linux 2.3 operating system, which we call it as they have taken kernels, 2.3 OS kernels they have taken, and this is something which never change. Right? They always keep them standard, and they do work on the APIs, different libraries on top of this, which you have already seen, if you remember, right, different levels of the layers which you have in Android, right? Right? So they are built up and built on this actually, Java, right? And the last layer, whatever we have something called calling or Bluetooth and all. So these are something which are direct APIs being developed in Java, but they interact with the kernels of Linux.
Okay.
Right? So that is how the complete things are done. And coming to library part, right? So we'll be learning so many libraries like the media. I mean, how to play video, audio, and what is the different stories we have, right? How does the runtime is being used and all. At that time, we will just touch upon few of these things. Okay? So that is about the technology being used inside this. And yes, we have to understand something called DVM. Now, how does this DVM works? Is something which we have to understand.
Okay.
Now, DVM basically most of the Android is mainly developed in Java. Right? Most of the part of main libraries. Just leave about the Linux kernels, because Linux is something which is already, it's a ready-made one. They have just taken it and used it. That's it, right? The main kernels like networking or camera kernels or the what do you call that? Bluetooth. All these things are already inbuilt of in Linux, and it is usable. Okay, but let us see what is Debian. So in Java we have something called JVM, right? We already have JVM. So what does it do? So JVM is something which is used to, maybe in a first stage, it is used to at least compile, right, your raw file called .java class to .class. Am I right?
Right.
Because .java file, if you load this file directly into your runtime will never understand what exactly you're loading.
Right.
We need, basically, we do need something called bytecode in order to run that. Am I right?
Yeah.
Bytecode. So bytecode is nothing but a .class file.
Right.
But yes, so in between you have something called JVM. So this is the internal component which is being used to actually convert your Java class into .java into .class file. Now, where does your DVM comes and why we have this in spite of having this? Now basically JVM is mainly designed actually to be, to just go to the history of Java, right? Java is basically, the developers of Java basically started developing this Java not as a programming language. They actually started developing this for some, embedded systems.
Okay.
Embedded systems like the small, the small devices, small electronic devices like your set-top box or your remote or some mobile phones, right? So they actually started for that. But as this framework they have developed, whatever they have developed, the framework was so robust and so independent of platform that they wanted to make it as a programming language. Then that is where it got evolved into programming language. But Java was not designed for programming language actually, right? Now, so when they started, making an upgrade to a higher machine side, so the JVM is completely built in the same way, which means this JVM is mainly, focusing on something called, we don't need any power management, right? As compared to small devices like mobile or tabs or any smartphones, right? Or any phone. If you consider power management, obviously we need more power management facility in our smartphones rather in our machines like laptop, server or any other machine, right? So but this is something which is not designed for your smartphones or something, because this is something which is basically designed for your server-based applications to run on, right? Where it won't take care of much of things like power management or memory management or not. So what we have done is, so on top of this, what they have done, whenever you write a code on .java file, you will be using your JVM to convert it to .class, right? So .class in turn will be converted, or I would say this .class, right, will be loaded on something called your DVM, which is a virtual machine, which will convert this to something called DEX file. So this DVM contains a compiler called DEX compiler. This will convert this bytecode into something called .dx, or sometimes we also call it as .dex file. No, anyways, we don't see these files because this happens when you actually deploy your application into your mobile phone, right? But whenever you make any package of this, right, like I hope you know something called jar and war files and EAR files, right? Jar files or war files or EAR files. So these are something which are packages of your Java projects, right? Different packages of desktop application, or some are for web application, right? And based on different web servers, like if you are trying to deploy in a web logic, you need an EAR file, right? In that way, we will be packaging our Android Java application into something called .apk. This is called as dot. This is also called as application package or Android application package. The full form of APK. Right?
Yeah. Okay.
APK is a main file which Android operating system can understand, right? And it can install. Now, what is I just said understand, right? So what this term is very important here. Now, let us say you have Windows and you have a Linux machine, right? Now, Windows can understand batch file and Linux can understand shell file. Is that true?
Okay. Like
Right?
shell.
Shell, because shell is something which is same as batch in Windows. Now, if
Right.
you take this batch file and run on Linux, what it will do? It will never understand, because
Right.
the complete disk, the DOS is completely different. It's a very different thing in Windows and it is quite different in Linux, right? In the same way, this APK is something which is which can be understandable only by your Android, nothing else. That's why the apps whichever you are developing in Android, right, can be deployed only in Android. But yes,
Sure.
there are some exceptions. You can also deploy your APK files in some BlackBerry phones. BlackBerry phones, the operating system, or I can say the platform of BlackBerry is something different. It's different.
Right.
But yes, they have provided some provision where you can actually make some configurations to your phone and you can actually use your Android app as its app, as a native
okay.
app, right? Why? The answer is quite straight. Why? Because Android is so famous and Android is the only mobile smartphone operating system which have got so many app store apps, right? It has got so many apps that whoever is trying to develop anything, they will first think of Android and then they will think of iPhone, right?
Right.
Because these are the two things which are prevailing mostly prevailing in market, right?
Yes.
So that's why even who are coming up with a new operating system, right? They are actually giving the provision to install this Android APK, right? So that is how the Dex compiler in Debian works, and this is how. Now these files are something which are being executed in your Android, right? So these files will be internally packaged into your APK. So this is what is called as an APK. Anyways, we won't be checking out everything. We'll just say right click into your project and create some package, or let us say, right? So we'll just do simple thing. Your Eclipse will take care of doing everything. You don't have to worry.
Okay.
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 So your APK, or in your build path, you will directly get your APK. You can just go to your build path of your web application or Android application. You will find something called .apk with the name of your project. Just copy that. That is nothing but your package. Okay.
Okay.
Even when you are running your emulator, right, using your Eclipse, so what it does, you will have seen the steps. So what it will do, it will upgrade the APK file and then install the APK file and then start the APK file. That is what this happens. If you just run your project, I have seen that we have created some projects, right? When you run that, you can just check into console. It will do everything. So that's why I asked you to keep your emulator so light that what it does is Eclipse will actually transform or transport the APK file into your SDK, Android SDK. So where your emulator is configured. So from that SDK will actually install that APK into your mobile phone. Now here, what is mobile phone? It's an emulator, right? So after installing, then it will automatically open. So that these are few things which are happening in our machine completely in a virtual memory. Am I right? Because we haven't created any we haven't given any separate space for our emulator. Everything works virtually. That's why first time whenever you open emulator, it will take some time to open, because it has to prepare its own operating system. It has to start up everything, right? That is what happens, right? So that is why the first time it will take some time, but yes, from next time on it will be so fast. So you will see that because when we go on with different things, you'll see that. Fine. So that is what is something where our DBM comes, right, for us. Now let us see something called life cycle, how this life cycle goes. But anyways, this class obviously I'll be boring you because this is something which you have to understand. It's a bit of theory, but even I'm not more interested in theory. But from next class on, maybe we'll start with our actual Android, right?
Okay.
Now, if you go to the life cycle of Android, right, these are some steps which are completely, standard across all the Android APIs, right? The first life cycle of Android is on create. Maybe you have seen whenever you create an activity, right, the first method which you will see is on create. So whatever you want to do, you have to do it on create itself, because create is nothing but something like, you are actually loading up your activity. Whatever the things you want to do, you can just write it down in on create. Fine. Now, the next one is on start. The next phase, I would say. Right? You have something called on start. Fine. On start. Sorry. Okay. So this is something. So once your activity is actually loaded and you started some processing on the activity, then obviously it will start up your on start. And then you have on stop. Then you have on restart. Now what is this restart? So have you used any Android phone, Geeta? Like you are using iPhone or Android? I mean, have you just...
Yeah, my husband has Android, so...
Okay, perfect. Good. Now let us take an example. Let us say in your mobile Android phone, right? So you have installed your Facebook app, let us say, right? So in your Facebook app, let us say you have logged into your Facebook app. Now whenever you log in, what happens? Your profile page will open, right?
Right.
Which means in your Facebook app, FB app, right? The first screen is your profile.
Profile. Yeah.
When you click on some image, right, what happens? It will go to the next profile page. Am I right? It will go to the second screen. I would say second activity. Right?
Okay.
And on that activity, if you click on some other friends, what happens? It will open one more activity. Am I right?
Right.
Now here, how does it work? How does this work is, when you are in a profile page, right? So actually this was active. Right? This was the activity you had in your Facebook app. Now, once you click on something and move to second activity, right? So this will go to suspended state.
Yeah.
This will not be closed. This will just go to suspended state and this will be active. Right? Now, once you actually move from one activity to another activity again, which means this is another activity and you are actually opening one more activity from this activity, which means this will again go to suspend state and this will be active. Right? So how many activities are there in suspend state? There are 2 activities.
2.
Now, this is something where you are actually moving from one activity to other activity in linear format. Now, so in Android phone, you have something called back button, right? The right side button is standard button. All the 3 buttons. Your iPhone will have only one button to click on, which is home button. But your Android will have any Android phone. Take any Android phone, will have 3 buttons, right? Which is the home button. The left one is the menu button, and the right one is to go back. Right?
Go back.
Perfect. Now here in this app, right? Let us say we are in third activity, right? When you click on back button, what happens? It will go to the previous activity. Am I right?
Yeah.
How it is going to previous one? Because it knows that each and every activity will be saved as a stack. Right? What is stack? Stack is nothing but LIFO, right? Last in first out.
Yeah, last in first out, right?
So this was our latest one. So whenever I click on back button, right? So what happens here? So this was our last activity. It will be disposed. This will not go to suspend state again. This will be disposed. Which means this activity will be there no more. That's gone. Now where is our...
Do you say, it will be destroyed?
Yep, this will be completely destroyed, yes.
Okay.
And this will make active. This will be active. Right? Because in our stack, what is the latest one? This is the latest.
Oh, okay.
Because this was the last entry being made among these 2. Am I right?
Right.
Yes. So this will go to the active state. Now, it went from suspended to active. Am I right? It was suspended, but when we came back, it again got active. Am I right?
Yes.
That is called as on start, on restart.
Okay.
Right? Now again, if you click on back again, what happens here? Now again, this activity will be disposed,
Yeah.
right? And this will become active.
Active.
Now, even here, if you just click on back, what happens? Your complete
This will
app is
get-
closed.
Yeah.
Right? That is how your Android works. Okay. This is common for all the apps. It can be a game, it can be a calendar, it can be Facebook, it can be Gmail, anything, take anything. Everything
Yeah.
works as such. You are actually working as an activity. Fine. Now, so this architecture is common because this architecture is defined inside the operating system for Android, right? So obviously everyone have to follow that. That is how, right? And then we have something called on pause. So this on pause is nothing but the one which we said suspended is nothing but paused it. And we say on resume. On resume is, so when it restarted, right? When it restarted, after restarting, it will come from on pause to on resume.
Okay.
And completely whenever it is disposing or destroyed, right? So then one method will be called, which is destroy. So these are the life cycles of your Android app. Fine. So that is how the Android works now basically. Now here there is one more thing here. We were just talking about one app, right? How the activity works. Now let us take more thing here. Let us say you have opened your Facebook app, every app, your now you just kept this open and you click the home button and you open Gmail app. And after that, let us say you open Twitter app, right? Let us say, and after that you open some calendar, right?
Okay.
Now, basically, when you go to calendar, you feel that there is only one app being opened, right?
Right.
Now, what will happen to these things? In the same way, everything will be in suspended state.
Suspended, huh?
Perfect. The whole app itself will go to suspended state. Now here, there is one beauty in Android is something that whatever app goes to suspended state, right? So now basically, let us say you have saved a resume in your hard disk. I'm
Okay.
talking about your laptop, it is, right? Now, so that memory, in order to actually say that it's a memory, what is needed? Power is needed. Am I right?
Yes.
Right? Power is needed. But here, whatever app goes to suspended state, right? It is something which doesn't need any of your power. Now here, let us say some background process is running. You can see some antivirus is running, something else is running, which means some processing is being done. Am I right?
Right.
Which means whenever we talk about processing, which means we are actually talking about RAM. Am I right?
Yeah, rhymes.
Or processor. Now,
Processor.
if you want your processor or RAM to run, what is needed? Power is needed,
Power.
right? Which means when you keep all these things open, let us say Microsoft Word or your antivirus, right? Or some GoToMeeting, which means what does it mean? Your memory is being RAM. You are actually using more RAM. More the RAM you are using, more the power consumption will go. Am I right?
Yes.
What happens if the same thing happens in our phone, mobile phone? The charge will not stay at least. Exactly, right? So there is something which is differently implemented here. That is what our DVM does. What it does is, whenever you go to the other app, right? What happens is the old app will go to suspended state, and this suspended state we consider almost nil memory. No memory is needed in order to maintain this.
Okay.
In the same way, whatever you open, Facebook, Gmail, Twitter, every app will go to suspended. Now here, whenever we talk about suspended, which means it doesn't take any memory to stay. Now, if it is not taking memory, what does it mean? It doesn't need any processing speed. Am I right? If it doesn't need processing, what does it mean? We don't need a power to make this stay.
Right.
What does it mean? Even if you open so many apps, and whatever is your active app, only that active app will be eating up your memory. That's it. The older ones will stay in suspended state and no memory and no power will be consumed. That is how your memory right? Memory and power management is built,
Okay.
right? In app.
Yeah. I have one question, Srinath.
Sure.
I have doubt that whether this FB, Gmail, Twitter will go in suspended or in the destroyed state, disposed state.
See, if anything is being disposed, right, which means the complete processing is being killed. You can just check out one thing. If you can go to in Android phone, right, if you can go to settings, right, you will be having something called application manager.
Yeah.
Right, with that application manager, you will see a few things like downloaded, and
Yes.
next to that you have something called running.
Yes.
Running things are something which are cached processes, right? Each and everything will be in a cache.
Right.
So these, even if you open that, or even if you don't open, right, some apps will be open as a startup applications, right? And they will be taking up some process. Okay, those are called as cache process, and yes, at that time you have to dispose them in order to make your memory free. But whatever I was talking about is, let us say in Facebook you open some 20 activities, right?
Okay.
And you went to some other app. It doesn't mean that all the 20 apps, if it is using memory, what happens? If you keep this Facebook open for 1 hour, the complete charge will be gone.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's why if you go to some state called suspended, where there is no need of any memory or power consumption, which means why it will go to suspended is, whenever you go back from calendar to Facebook, let us say, right? Right? All your 20 activities will be open and the latest activity will be shown directly. Whenever you click on back of that app, right, it will go to the 19, again back 18, again back, which means all this stack will be maintained in something called suspended state. That is how it
okay.
is. Right?
So stack for every app is different, you would say?
Stack for
Every app.
for
We have a separate stack for every app.
for certain app there is a separate stack for activities, right? For combination of apps there is certain stack for your apps.
Okay.
Okay, it is like you're actually taking a big bucket and placing small buckets, and in those small buckets you are placing balls.
Okay.
Okay, that is how it works. But yes, for this you don't need stack. Why? Because you're just keeping something in suspended state, and whatever you want, you can just go inside that. See here, why do we need stack? In order to maintain some order, you need stack, right? But here we don't have to maintain any order. From calendar, I can maybe directly go to Gmail, or I can directly go to from calendar FB. I can go to that, right?
Right.
Now, how can you go? You know that how to go in our Android phone?
Yeah, from application menu.
Okay, you don't have to go till there. Let us say you have something called menu button, right, which is home button.
Yeah.
Just keep that pressed for maybe 2 seconds. Keep pressed for more time. It will show all the apps whatever are running currently.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
So that is how you can see whatever are running. They are nothing but few things which are in suspense state. But it will show you what are the apps running.
Okay.
Okay. Now, when you select that, you have something called delete. When you click on delete button, right, which means all these things which are in suspend mode will be erased. Okay, so that is what happens.
Okay. So in suspended, when the app is in suspended state, you resume back. So you come to the activity that you have left. To the page.
Yes, perfect. Yeah.
And if it's destroyed, it's gonna get resetted all the way from my first home page of the app or profile page.
Exactly. That's it.
Okay.
Okay, that's it. You can just try out, right? That is what happens in the Android phone.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So that is what is a life cycle of your Android. Right?
Okay. So Srinath, when does it goes in the pause state? Okay, if I'm changing from FB to Gmail, it will go in suspended.
No, we're not getting. Pause state is only for activity. This is something which is activity life cycle. Right? It is not app life cycle. This is activity. Activity is something which is inside our app. Whatever we are talking about, you can see that's why I've taken this for only one app inside the activities. Across the activities, there is nothing called, these things are only in one app for one activity.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. I was confused. Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that is what is your the life cycles and all. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, this is something which is big, small theory about this. Okay. Anyways, we'll be starting with the class with layouts first. I hope you know the layouts part, but I'll be refreshing this layout. How we can use this layouts in Android, because it's the best start which we can do, right?
All right.
This layout, you would have learned this layouts in something called your GUI part, like swings, AWTs and outlets, right?
Yes,
These are those.
outlets and swings.
The same layouts will be getting here, right?
Okay.
We'll be touching upon how they work and all, right? We'll see that, right? It's very easy, right? In Android, we feel that it's complicated, but yes, if you understand few things, Android will be so easy than any other technology. Right?
Okay.
That is how it goes. But yes, only thing what I need from you is you have to practice more and more to get it. You have to get used to this. You have to practice more. Just take any example code on that. If you don't get it, just ask me or browse.
Sure.
Right? If I don't know the answer, I'm sure I'll find the answer and I'll give you. Don't worry about that. Okay?
Yeah, sure. That will help. Yeah, like I want to do practically more.
Exactly. That's how it works. Even if you practice, you'll get more used to that. But only thing is why I stress practicing is during training. If you practice, you'll understand more. I've seen some students who start practicing after completing a course. It's very dangerous. Once you see during class, you feel that okay, everything is I'm understanding that. But after a few classes, right, when you just refer to the previous notebook, right, you'll feel that what has happened.
Yeah.
Right? That is how. But at least for 5 classes, just practice 1 hour. Right?
Sure.
That is more than enough. You don't have to practice every day, but maybe 3 or 4 classes, maybe you can just sit for half an hour, just check back, and just because I'll be sharing the videos from next class, right? You can just see what I've done. You can just replicate, and maybe you can do more on the same program, right? You can just do that part, right? But yes, don't worry. If you want me to repeat any class, I'll be always okay to repeat any class if you want. Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much.
The only thing is, we just have to understand it first. We are not in a hurry. We are here to learn something, right?
Right.
Don't worry about that. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
So yes. So basically, I was about to take weekend classes for you. Actually, I mean just for 1 or 2 weeks, basically because I'm completely stuck with few batches of Java and Android during evenings, right? So basically, maybe I'll be meeting you on I think your Friday.
Okay.
Today is your
Today is my day.
sorry, it's Tuesday for you?
I'm sorry, Wednesday. It's Wednesday for me. Wednesday noon.
Okay, it's Wednesday noon for you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it will be on IST Saturday. That will be fine, right?
Yeah.
Next.
Okay, but I mean it depends. If you take in morning, then it will be Friday evening for me. Or if you take in Saturday evening, it's Saturday morning for me.
Okay, so which time would you prefer to be?
I would prefer morning times. Works better for me.
Okay, it's like my evening you are saying, right?
Yeah, your evening.
Okay, fine, that's fine.
Will that be okay for you?
No, that's fine. With respect to your time, I'll let me see, because see, I just need 1 to 2 weeks because the one Android class is going to complete actually. So what I'll do, once that class is complete, right, you'll be moving to that batch.
Okay.
Right, so that that batch will be completed and the students will be leaving. So I'll take your batch to that, and we'll be having day-to-day classes. It will be it will be like continuous, right?
I would like to have continuous so that I don't break the link.
Yes. But it is only for maybe 1 or 2 weeks, maybe, right? Mostly. Mostly by the next weekend I should be able to do that. But let us see.
Okay.
I'll email you on the next class, Geeta. Fine. I'll email you if I find any gap. At least 1 hour before or 2 hours prior to that, I'll email you. Maybe you can check your mail in your phone or email, right? You can just check that on your scope. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Fine, then we'll just start with the coding part from next class, okay?
Alright.
Okay then, Geeta.
So next class I hope it will be on Friday or Saturday.
Exactly. I'll email you. I'll email you at least 1 day prior to that. Okay?
Okay, yeah.
Okay
sure.
then, Geeta. Okay.
Yeah,
Fine
thank you,
then.
Anshul.
Okay, nice day. Bye bye.
Yeah, have a good night.